Oh, what is a man? What does he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. Let the record show I took the blows and did it my way. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Inshallah. Inti hilwa. Assalamu alaikum salah. Mashallah. How are we? Thank you for the gifted memberships. Thank you. Una mattina mi sono alzato. Bella ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato invasor. Right, welcome everybody. Welcome. Catch that speech? Ready. We've got it queued up and ready to go. Threatened by the intro. Whose intro? Trump's intro, Pete Hegseth's intro, this fucking dude. Who the fuck is this dude? I've recognized it. Is that Mark Milley? Is that some general? Did you see what Jolly Good Ginger posted? I did. He had a bar. He said, "We offer socialism to our soldiers so that they will defend capitalism." And it's a bar. And it's true. We do. Like, literally, all of the part of the reason why people join the military is because they get socialist benefits. That's General Raising Cane. I figured. But, yeah, listen, so we're going to watch it. I'm only going to be live for like an hour and a half. I have to go to the gym at 2 o'clock. But that's the Joint Chief of Staff. I figured. What the fuck did Trump just say?
And it was really a stupid person that works for him mentioned the word nuclear. I moved a submarine or two, I won't say about the two, over to the coast of Russia, just to be careful, because we can't let people throw around that word. Call it the N-word.
God, he's so fucking stupid, bro. I gotta pull up that clip. Did you see the speech? We're gonna watch it. Let me show you what the fuck he's saying. Trump N-word. Is this it?
It was really a stupid person that works for him mentioned the word nuclear. I moved a submarine or two, I won't say about the two, over to the coast of Russia, just to be careful, because we can't let people throw around that word. I call it the N-word.
Oh my God.
There are two N-words, and you can't use either of them. You can't use either of them. And frankly, if it does get to use, we have more than anybody else. We have better, we have newer, but it's...
God, he's so stupid. Dude, I'm not like, I'm being so for real. If you are capable of looking at this man and thinking like, wow, what a big, strong leader, you're mentally disabled. And there's nothing wrong with being mentally disabled. But if you can watch that and think like, wow, what a strong man. That's my president. Like, wow, you are mentally disabled. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're just mentally disabled. Fuck! Like, that's insane. All right, but we're going to watch this. We're going to make a video of it. How long does Pete actually speak? He speaks for what looks like 45 minutes? 45 minutes, bro? Nah, fuck that. All right, hold on. Let me start recording. Pete Hegseth just did his 45-minute long speech in front of the entire leadership of the United States military. And it was the stupidest shit I've ever seen. It's pretty fucking long. I don't know if we're going to watch the entire thing, but I got to show you a little bit of it. I mean, dude, he literally at one point says, and to our enemies out there, I have one message. F-A-F-O. And if you need our soldiers to translate that for you, they happily will. F-A-F-O means fuck around, find out. That is the least intimidating thing you could possibly say. Like, dude, the idea of having, like, the idea of the United States military being so strong is that we don't even have to say it. You know? Like, other militaries do these giant parades where they show off how big their bombs are and how big their planes are and whatnot. And it's like, well, the point of the American military not doing that type of shit is like, you know, we know. We all know who top dog is. You know what I'm saying? This is fucking weird. But we're going to watch it. My name is Chris Valenti. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. And don't forget to support the channel financially. There's a couple of ways you can do it. You can donate to the channel by clicking the thanks button. You can buy merch like the Democratic Socialist poster or the Constitution mug. You can become a member by clicking the join button. You can become a patron on Patreon. And you can use a 40% off discount code for Ground News located in the description below. But without further ado, let's just dive right in. Somebody in chat says, hey, do not lump me in with those people. My mental disorder does not make me a fascist dog man. No, I'm not saying that everybody who's mentally disabled is a Trump supporter. I'm saying that everybody who is a Trump supporter is also mentally disabled. You have different disabilities. Yours does not make you less than. Theirs does.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sure. Thank you. Please take your seats. Well, Mr. Chairman, the Joint Chiefs, Generals, Admirals, Commanders, Officers, Senior Enlisted, NCO...
Meine Kamerad! Dankeschön for coming to the meeting!
...enlisted, and every member of our American military, good morning. Good morning, and welcome to the War Department.
Ugh. Whole fucking thing. It's all about aesthetics, bro. It's all about fucking aesthetics.
Because the era of the Department of Defense is over. You see, the motto of my...
Why did you walk up to the mic if you're mic'd? Like, brother just walked away. So you're mic'd. Why did you have to have a mic?
First platoon was those who long for peace must prepare for war. This is, of course, not a new idea. This crowd knows that. The origin dates to the 4th century Rome and has been repeated ever since, including by our first commander-in-chief, George Washington, the first leader of the War Department. It captures a simple yet profound truth. To ensure peace, we must prepare for war. From this moment forward, the only mission of the newly restored Department of War is this: warfighting.
Yo, you guys remember when they said that Donald Trump was a peaceful dove and he would end all war on planet Earth within the first 3 days of being the president? I remember that. Do you remember when we were like told or taught that like America would not fight these forever wars overseas and that, you know, we would just be defending ourselves and defending the world? Yeah, I remember that. All that's out of the fucking window because we hired an alcoholic Fox News host who can barely throw an axe and was kicked out of a strip club for being too drunk and Islamophobic. Don't worry, he's the head of the Department of War now. We're gonna be fine. What did Nelson just send me? Hey-o!
Preparing for war and preparing to win. Unrelenting and uncompromising in that pursuit. Not because we want war. No one here wants war.
Fuck off, bullshit.
But it's because we love peace.
Fuck off, bullshit. No one here wants war. War with Mexico, war with Venezuela, war with Greenland, war with Canada, war with Iran, war with Somalia, war with Yemen. What are we playing pretend for? You guys are literally fucking warmongers. You do want war.
Peace. We love peace for our fellow citizens. They deserve peace, and they rightfully expect us to deliver it. Our number one job, of course, is to be strong so
Chatter
that we can...
says, listen, you socialists, I would much rather have a drunk National Guard major. What did Biden have? Some 4-star minority with decades of experience?
Prevent war in the first place. The president talks about it all the time. It's called peace through strength.
Peace through strength. Ooh, peace through strength. Luigi, do not bark back. It's just another dog. Just let the dog exist.
And as history teaches us, the only people who actually deserve peace are those who are willing to wage war to defend it. That's why pacifism is so naive and dangerous. It ignores human nature and it ignores human history. Either you protect your people and your sovereignty, or you will be subservient to something or someone.
Yeah, the only people that he plans on protecting are white, Christian, native-born American citizens. And even then, they're going to start cutting off like, oh, you're a radical Marxist-Leninist, you're a terrorist, you're Antifa. You know what I mean? You are not interested in protecting the American people. And I know this because you don't consider me to be your fellow American, despite the fact that I was born in New York.
It's a truth as old as time. And since waging war is so costly in blood and treasure, we owe our republic a military that will win any war we choose.
That's funny because you've lost every single war since World War II. The United States military has not won a single war since World War II, and we barely participated in World War II. Barely participated. It's a fucking joke.
Or any war that is thrust upon us.
I'll thrust something upon you, Pete.
Choose foolishly to challenge us. They will be crushed by the violence, precision, and ferocity of the War Department.
Fox News host, by the way. Just a reminder, this is a Fox News host.
In other words, to our enemies, F-A-F-O.
Woo! Yeah! All right. That is the least intimidating thing I've ever fucking heard. And to our enemies, F-A, F-O. This could have been a fucking email, Pete. You flew the entirety of the United States military command from all over the planet for what could have been a fucking email. You fucking cornball. Jesus Christ.
If necessary, our troops can...
And also, like, it could have been a bar. It could have been a bar if you said, and to our enemies, fuck around and find out. Maybe that could have been a bar, but you didn't even say it. This is like the equivalent of saying, and to our enemies, I say, L-M-F-A-O. Oh, fuck, dude. Oh, fuck, we are such a joke.
Translate that for you. Another way to put it is peace through strength. Brought to you by the warrior ethos.
Brought to you by Palantir. Palantir, give us your soul.
And we are restoring both. As President Trump has said, and he's right, we have the strongest, most powerful, most lethal, and most prepared military on the planet. That is true, full stop.
Incorrect. That is China. All glory to Supreme Leader Xi Jinping.
Nobody can touch us. It's not even close. This is true largely because of the historic investments that he made in his first term, and we will continue in this term. But it's also true because of the leaders in this room.
You motherfuckers, Jolly Good Ginger said it best. You motherfuckers offer our soldiers socialism so that they will go fight and die to defend capitalism. Literally, the overwhelming majority of people that join the United States military join because of poverty. They join because of the benefits. Like, guess what? Free college. Oh, that's socialism, that's communism, you must be a mondanist. You dumb fucks literally offer socialist policies to our 17 and 18-year-old boys who are living in fucking poverty as a way out. And all you gotta do is spill blood in the name of capitalism. You're the most hypocritical fucking pieces of shit I've ever goddamn seen.
And the incredible troops that you all lead. But the world, and as the chairman mentioned, our enemies get a vote. You feel it, I feel it. This is a moment of urgency, mounting urgency. Enemies gather, threats grow. There is no time for games. We must be prepared. If we're going to prevent and avoid war, we must prepare now. We are the strength part of peace through strength. And either we're ready to win.
Chatter says, you're lying, Valenti, you socialist. Trump laid off 80,000 VA workers, so no more socialism for the vets. You got owned. No, you're right, Chatter. You're totally right. What am I thinking? There are no more benefits for our soldiers. $5 a performative waste of our tax dollars. Where's Doge at? Yeah, no, for real. Where's Doge?
We are not.
I think he's drunk right now. Yeah, odds are he's going to have to take a sip of whiskey at some point to wet those lips.
Urgent moment, of course, requires more troops, more munitions, more drones, more Patriots, more submarines, more B-21 bombers. It requires more innovation, more AI in everything, and ahead of the curve.
More AI, fucking AI slop. A little side tangent here. In New York City, the largest advertisement campaign of all time went up overnight a couple of days ago. And it was an advertisement for this necklace you can wear that has an AI companion in there. And it was set, the ads went everywhere, all over the subways, posters, everything. And it said shit like, I'll binge watch the whole series with you. No one wants to talk to you? I'll talk to you. And New York came out in storms, started graffiti, spray paint, vandalizing that shit, saying, AI-generated slop, fuck you, clanker, this isn't real, surveillance state, all that shit. And I do have to say something. If you need an AI companion because of how lonely you are already fucked. You have already submitted to the surveillance state capitalist overlord. If you turn to a clanker for companionship, you are an inferior being to all humanity, an inferior creature, okay? I mean that from my fucking soul.
Cyber effects, more counter UAS, more space, more speed. America is the strongest, but we need to get stronger and quickly. The time is now, and the cause is urgent. The moment requires restoring and refocusing our defense industrial base, our shipbuilding industry, and onshoring all critical components. It requires, as President Trump has done, getting our allies and partners to step up and share the burden. America cannot do everything. The free world requires allies with real hard power, real military leadership.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, he has no riz. He can't give a speech for the life of him. I could give this speech far better than he could. I could have written this speech better. Where's your energy? Where's your aesthetics? You know what I mean? You want to rule through an iron fist? Fucking give some energy to your speech, you baby back alcoholic bitch.
And real military capabilities. The War Department is tackling and prioritizing all of these things. And I'll be giving a speech next month that'll showcase the speed, innovation, and generational acquisition reforms we are undertaking urgently. Likewise, the nature of the threats we face in our hemisphere and in deterring China is another speech for another day.
Where are you going?
Coming soon.
Coming soon. So you're telling me you're just going to fly the entire United States military command back and forth across the entire fucking planet to listen to you give dog shit speeches? This is a fucking joke.
This feels like Leni Riefenstahl's fucking Triumph of the Will. This is bullshit edited together. It's all designed to make those dumb fucking bootlicking MAGA chuds feel strong. I'm actually willing to guarantee they have other cameras in here filming him at different angles to try and create some sort of gas propaganda machine. And I know bangers, and I promise you, there will be a fucking banger posted by the White House or DHS or the Department of War or even Pete Hegseth himself. They're gonna create some sort of propaganda in order to increase recruitment levels based off of the fact that this entire room is riddled with like a whole bunch of military personnel with medals on their chests. Go, look how dumb we are. Duh.
This speech today, as I drink my coffee, this speech today is about people.
Wait, did he just take a second to drink a sip of coffee? Are you out of your fucking mind, bro? I don't know if any of you guys have given public speeches. I have. Hold on. Oh my God. First of all, there's absolutely whiskey in that. Holy shit, this alcoholic cannot stop. Let me take a sip of my coffee. Bull fucking shit. A little hair of the dog for you, huh? Mr. President, I need $20,000 in a strip club immediately. Cash only. Like, dude, this fucking guy can't stop drinking for the life of him.
This speech today is about people, and it's about culture. The topic today is about the nature of ourselves. Because no plan, no program, no reform, no formation will ultimately succeed unless we have the right people and the right culture at the War Department.
Oh, it is a loyalty oath. They are going to fire a bunch of these generals, but they're going to phrase it. They're not going to say, you need to take an oath to Donald J. Trump, because that would cause pandemonium. What they're going to say is, we need everyone to be on board with the new culture, with the new warrior ethos, right? Because right now, Trump is asking the military to do insane shit. He's asking the military to invade Portland. He just told the military to start killing the protesters in Portland. That's not a joke. Donald Trump told the military that they have authorization to kill protesters in Portland, Oregon. So, like, he said it. He said it himself, okay? And Pete Hegseth knows that the future orders are going to be so fucked up that he's trying to ensure the fact that the only people who are in this room are dedicated to the cause.
If I've learned one core lesson in my 8 months in this job.
Please play the clip. I'll just show you. I'm pretty sure he said it on Truth Social. Trump says military to use full force in Portland. Why is it searching on Yahoo? What the fuck? Why is it searching on Yahoo? Hold on a second. Settings. Search engine. Why is it Yahoo? Google, you motherfucker. Sorry if you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube. This is just like, you know, like I'm kind of a doofus. I'm kind of a doofus here. Trump gives military permission to use full force in Portland. All right, yeah. This is it. Here, we got it in Time Magazine here. Yeah, so he said, is this it on Truth Social? No. So Trump said that the military in Portland, Oregon, he said, at the request of Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, I am directing Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, to provide necessary troops to protect war-ravaged Portland. Again, if you think Portland is war-ravaged, you're a fucking inferior dog, man. And any of our ICE facilities under siege from any attack from Antifa and other domestic terrorists. I am also authorizing full force if necessary. So Trump said the military has authorization to kill anybody who resists us in Portland, Oregon. Okay? So I don't want to hear any fucking shit from any MAGA rat trying to say, states' rights, states' rights. You literally advocate for the military to be allowed to shoot you in the fucking face, you bootlicking vermin.
It's that personnel is policy. Personnel is policy. The best way to take care of troops is to give them good leaders committed to the warfighting culture of the department. Not perfect leaders, good leaders. Competent, qualified, professional, agile, aggressive, innovative, risk-taking,
white men, Christian,
apolitical, faithful to their oath and to the Constitution.
Apolitical? You're the least apolitical person I've ever fucking seen, dude.
Eugene Sledge, in his World War II memoir, wrote,
Oh my God, you're gonna quote Eugene fucking Sledge, bro. How dare you? You do not get to fucking quote our heroes. When this son of a bitch just gave medals to the men who participated in the Battle of Wounded Knee. If you don't know what Wounded Knee was, it was when the American military literally slaughtered, raped, and murdered women and children, Native women and children. And this motherfucker, let me pull it up. Pete Hegseth, Wounded Knee. Blatant fucking racism. Blatant fucking racism. Here it is. Wait, give me the fucking video. Give me the fucking video of him doing it. Is this it? Yeah.
A review panel was convened to determine whether soldiers awarded the Medal of Honor for their actions at the Battle of Wounded Knee should keep their medals. Now, upon deliberation, that panel concluded that these brave soldiers should, in fact, rightfully keep their medals from actions in 1890.
They weren't brave soldiers. They were murderers and rapists.
Report was concluded in October of 2024. Yet, despite this clear recommendation, former Secretary Lloyd Austin, for whatever reason, I think we know, he was more interested in being politically correct than historically correct, chose not to make a final decision. Such careless inaction has allowed for their distinguished recognition to remain in limbo until now. Under my direction, we're making it clear without hesitation that the soldiers who fought in the Battle of Wounded Knee in 1890 will keep their medals. And we're making it clear that they deserve those medals.
Yeah, that they deserve those medals. Let's see. Battle of Wounded Knee. Let's, whoops. Let's see a little bit. Let's just read the slightest little bit. So first of all, it's actually called the Wounded Knee Massacre. It involved 300 Lakota people killed by soldiers of the United States Army. More than 250 and up to 300 Lakota were killed and 51 wounded. 4 men, 47 women and children, some of who died later. 25 U.S. soldiers were killed, 39 were wounded. Every single one of those U.S. soldiers that died in the Battle of Wounded Knee deserved it, and I hope it was slow and fucking painful. The event, which was part of what the U.S. military called the Pine Ridge Campaign, occurred in 1890, December 29th, near Wounded Knee, followed a botched attempt to disarm the Lakota people at the camp. It's fucking... The regiment was supported by a battery of 4 Hotchkiss-mounted mountain guns. It's fucking disgusting. Wounded Knee was not made up of a series of discrete, unconnected events. Instead, from the disarming of the burial of the dead, it consisted of a series of acts held together by an underlying logic of racist domination. Our military is a white supremacist, fascist, Nazi military. And I spent my whole fucking life supporting the military. My father was a Vietnam veteran. My grandfather fought against the Japanese. My other grandfather stormed the beaches of Normandy. And unfortunately, I can no longer support the military. I no longer thank you for your service. I no longer respect you for sacrificing your rights in order to defend the homeland. I am disgusted by the United States military. You will never get a fucking salute from me. You will never get a thank you for your fucking service. All you will get is a disgusted up and down glance so I could see what a monster really fucking looks like. You pathetic cowards. Resign from your position in the military or live a life of fucking shame.
Quote, war is brutish, inglorious, and a terrible waste. Combat leaves an indelible mark on those who are forced to endure it. The only redeeming factors are my comrades' incredible bravery and their devotion to each other. In combat, there are thousands of variables, as I learned in Iraq and Afghanistan, and as so many of you did in so many more places. Leaders can only control about 3 of them. You control how well you're trained, mostly how well you're equipped, and the last variable is how well you lead. After that, you're on your own. Our warfighters are entitled to be led by the best and most capable leaders. That is who we need you all to be. Even then, in combat, even if you do everything right, you may still lose people because the enemy always gets a vote. We have a sacred duty to ensure that our warriors are led by the most capable and qualified combat leaders. This is one thing
You're not one of them. You're not one of them. We're talking about capable and professional combat leaders. You're not one of them, and you're top dog, bro. You're top. I'm willing to bet money that anybody sitting in this audience could have been a better Secretary of Defense. Sorry, Secretary of War than you. You're such a fucking alcoholic. You just had to take a sip of whiskey during this speech, bro. During your hearing where you were being proposed as getting this position, you had to promise that you would stop drinking on the job, and you couldn't even fulfill that. You're a joke. You're a failure. You're an embarrassment to the United States military. And I have no evidence of this, but I'm willing to bet you curled up like a fucking bitch when the bullets started flying in Iraq and Afghanistan. I'm willing to bet money that you were the runt of your squad. That everybody thought you were just a fucking loser playboy, too afraid, and you were here just for the fucking ego thrill. Just so you could bolster your resume with, I was in the United States military. This is the type of motherfucker that sits in a ball and cries as soon as he starts to hear the whizzing.
You and I can control. And we owe it to the force to deliver it. For too long, we have simply not done that. The military has been forced by foolish and reckless politicians to focus on the wrong things. In many ways, this speech is about—
I gotta know if this piece of shit ever saw combat. Did Pete Hegseth see combat? All right, I gotta ask a clanker. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Let's see. Did Pete Hegseth ever see combat? Combat. He served in combat zones, combat infantry badge, personally present and under fire while serving in an assigned infantry capacity, engaged in active ground combat. He's also been awarded 2 Bronze Stars. However, there is debate and commentary and analysis of how much direct, sustained frontline combat he experienced. Some critics argue that while he was in combat zones and awarded a badge that requires exposure to enemy fire, his service was more in support, advisory, or civil affair roles rather than leading infantry assaults. So in short, yes, he saw combat in the sense of being in combat zones and being eligible for a combat badge, but the extent and nature of that combat experience is contested. Yeah, that sounds about right. I bet you this motherfucker has never felt the fear of being shot at. I am definitely willing to fucking believe that.
About fixing decades of decay. Some of it obvious, some of it hidden. Or as the chairman has put it, we are clearing out the debris, removing the distractions, clearing the way for leaders to be leaders. You might say we're ending the war on warriors. I heard someone wrote a book about that. For too long, we've promoted too many uniformed leaders for the wrong reasons.
Oh, here comes the woke.
Based on their race.
Yep, DEI.
Based on gender quotas. Based on historic so-called firsts. We've pretended that combat arms and non-combat arms are the same thing.
What?
We've weeded out so-called toxic leaders under the guise of double-blind psychology assessments.
Oh my God, this guy doesn't trust double-blind studies. Holy fucking shit.
Promoting risk-averse, go-along-to-get-along conformists instead. You name it, the department did it. Foolish and reckless political leaders set the wrong—
Plugging his own book? What do you mean plugging his own book? Did he just say the title of one of his own books? Are we dead ass?
Compass heading. And we lost our way. We became the woke department.
The woke department! We became the woke department. Dude, Dude, this is such an insult to every single person who has served in the military for the past, like, 30 years. Actually, this is an insult to yourself. You're insulting yourself and everyone you served with. Saying like, oh yeah, no, our warriors were a whole bunch of pieces of shit pussies. They were in the woke department. You dumb motherfucker. This guy wants a male-only, white-only, Christian-only holy war. That's what he fucking wants.
But not anymore. Right now, I'm looking out at a sea of Americans who made a choice when they were young men and young women to do something most Americans will not, to serve something greater than yourselves, to fight for God and country, for freedom and the Constitution. You made a choice to serve when others did not, and I commend you. You are truly the best of America. But this does not mean, and this goes for all of us, that our path to this auditorium on this day was a straight line, or that the conditions of the formations we lead are where we want them to be.
Yo, gang, I'm not gonna lie, this is a dog shit speech. This is like a boring as fuck dog shit speech that is gonna go on and on and on and on, and he's not gonna say anything of value. I'm honestly just gonna skip forward and I wanna see what the Fuhrer had to say. When does the Fuhrer take the stage? There he is.
Sir, you won't hear a murmur in the room. I said, we got to loosen these guys up a little bit. So you just have a good time. But I want to thank Secretary Hegseth and General Kane, General Raisin Kane for a reason, they call him that. When I heard his name, I said, you're the guy I'm looking for. The Joint Chiefs of Staff and so many others in this room who...
Dude, he has no energy. He's literally, like, rotting.
Together represent the greatest and most elite fighting force in the history of the world, the United States military. We're very proud of our military. I rebuilt the military during my first term. It's one of the greatest achievements. We had the greatest economy in history, and I built the military. Those are the two things I say more than anything else. And I
Shut the fuck up. You're on the Epstein list and you fuck children.
We have better, we have newer, but it's something we don't ever want to even have to think about. But when somebody mentions it, that submarine started immediately thereafter. And it's just, we will win, win, win. I want to just thank you once again, and God bless the United States military, and God bless America. God bless you all. Thank you very much. Thank you.
God, dude, he's so fucking stupid.
For each of you, as you command and lead our nation's finest. Go forth and do good things, hard things. President Trump has your back, and so do I. And you'll hear from him shortly. Move out and draw fire, because we are the War Department. Godspeed.
What a fucking loser. We're just gonna walk away? Wait, no salute? That was awkward. Watch the Trump intro. Let's see.
And I'm honored that this morning you all firsthand get to see it as well. So ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming the 45th and 47th President of the United States, our Commander-in-Chief, Donald J. Trump.
Dude, he always comes out like such a fat idiot.
Thank you very much, Pete. Great job you're doing, too. Fantastic job. I've never walked into a room so silent before. This is very... Oh, don't laugh. Don't laugh. You're not allowed to do that. You know?
Oh, God, bro. Fellas, I don't think that, like, people understand how crazy this is. The government is going to shut down tomorrow, okay? And we're having every single military leader from across the planet come together for a loyalty oath. Or this is what we're going to be doing moving forward. And if you're not on board, then you're out. This is so fucking scary. And nobody's taking this seriously. Nobody's taking this seriously. Fuck, man. All right. Listen, that's all I got for you. If you're watching this pre-recorded, I can't even tell you to go watch the whole speech because the speech is fucking stupid. Like, these guys don't know how to give speeches. They really don't. These are dog shit speeches, bro, from a bunch of fucking inbred dipshits. Huh. Anyway, if you're here live, you stay. We're going to keep going. If you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Sorry, there's really not much to cover. This is just fucking stupid shit. Click that video over there. It's a banger. And I know bangers. Dude, that was so fucking stupid. Oh, what the fuck is this?
I do feel compelled to mention, and Secretary Kennedy kindly also mentioned their names. Some of them can't be in here because they're busy negotiating future deals. Inma Hernandez-Delso,
Dr.
John
fucking
Brooks,
Oz,
who's a
bro.
deputy administrator of mine. Theo Merkel, who is in the back and tall and hard to miss with DPC, and Corey Enslin with the same group, did a spectacular job. And Don Dempsey at OMB. Just wonderful human beings, worked tirelessly to get this done. We were able to secure this first MFN deal, and the president...
Chris Plum and the FDA Commissioner Marty McCary, and I just want to thank them. Well, they've been working hard on many, many things. I think this is one of the biggest medical announcements that this office has ever made, because we're talking about price reductions, as you'll see in a couple of minutes, that are incredible. For many years, Americans have paid the highest prices anywhere in the world for prescription drugs. They paid far more, 10 times, 13 times, 15 times more than other countries for the exact same product. A major reason is that the American consumers have been subsidizing.
This looks like Pokemon evolution. You know, like this is like phase 1, and then you start rotting and you turn into phase 2, and then you've become fully rotted and you turn into phase 3, you know?
Research and development costs for the entire planet. They put all of that on us, and yet they were the beneficiaries too. So it's being changed as of today. The United States at just 4% of the world's population and consumers, only 13% of all prescription drugs, yet pharmaceutical companies make 75% of their profits from
John
the United
Oliver.
States. So think of that. We have 4% of the market, 13% of prescription drugs, and yet...
Is this it?
Not plantations. It is real, by the way. Monkeys are...
It's the number one politician.
In-law tell...
An asshole son of a bitch.
I mean, what kind of person...
Minister to stand up to the world.
Netanyahu's argument to voters has always been that he's a big, strong guy who won't let Israel get pushed around. And even some of his most ardent supporters describe him as a belligerent piece of shit. Here are some explaining their support for him ahead of an election in the 90s.
Only Bibi. He's the number one politician in the country. Bibi Netanyahu. He has a mouth that can wrap the whole country around his finger.
We need a prime minister to stand up to the world, not a sucker. Someone who knows how to lie, too. We need a prime minister who's an asshole son of a bitch.
That's a bar, but also, why are you interviewing a guy driving? Why are you interviewing a guy while he's driving his car?
Wow! That is pretty damning. What kind of person are you when even your biggest fans are going, this guy's a fucking nightmare, it's a yes from me? Also, stop interviewing that guy while he's still driving.
Exactly!
No one wants a news alert that says 12-car pile-up on the highway. We were first on the scene because we kind of caused it. And in recent years, Netanyahu's pushed that whole notion of a strong offense to the absolute limits. Just this year, he's continued to preside over the longest and deadliest war in Israel's history. He's starved Gaza, bombed Iran, and carried out airstrikes in Qatar, Yemen, Syria, and Lebanon. It seems like someone gave him a rise and grind coffee mug, and he took it sociopathically literally.
I can't watch this entire thing because it's a nightly show. They end up copyright striking you, but no, I fucking love John Oliver, bro. John Oliver's goated. Goated with the sauce. Goated with the sauce. Goated with the sauce. That's what the fucking crowd looked like to him. See what I mean? We don't get to see this, but this is gonna be all used for like an insane propaganda video. How many generals were called at the meeting? No idea. No idea. All right. Pete Hegseth meeting Quantico. No fat generals? What? No fat generals? Is that what it says in here? Fitness and nutrition. Cracker Barrel protocol. Repeat indulgence in biscuits and gravy. Grandma sampler equivalent caloric surpluses is prohibited during TDY. Receipts may be inspected as part of random audits. This can't be real, right? Is this real? That real? Jesus Christ, bro. What a joke. What a fucking joke, dude. Yeah, look, this is what the room looked like. Makes for some great propaganda.
Be very clear about this. This is not about preventing women from serving. We very much value the impact of female troops. Our female officers and NCOs are the absolute best in the world. But when it comes to any job that requires physical power to perform in combat, those physical standards must be high.
No fatties.
Tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon and leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look. It's tiring to look.
Dude, I don't even know what to say about this shit, dude. We just have a fucking dipshit Fox News host running the United States military saying no fat soldiers
in the halls of the Pentagon and leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look. It is bad, and it's not who we are. So whether you're an airborne ranger or a chairborne ranger, a brand new private or a 4-star general, you need to meet the height and weight standards and pass your PT test. And as the chairman said, yes, there is no PT test. But today, at my direction, every member of the Joint Force at every rank is required to take a PT test twice a year, as well as meet height and weight requirements twice a year, every year of service. Also today, at my direction, every warrior across our Joint Force is required to do PT every duty day. Should be common sense. I mean, most units do that already. but we're codifying it. And we're not talking like hot yoga and stretching. Real hard PT, either as a unit or as an individual. At every level, from the Joint Chiefs to everyone in this room to the youngest private, leaders set the standard. And so many of you do this already. Active, guard, and reserve. This also means grooming standards. No more beards, long hair, superficial individual expression. We're going to cut our hair, shave our beards, and adhere to standards.
That's the stupidest shit I've ever fucking heard, bro.
Returns to the highest male standard only. Because this job is life or death. We are also adding a combat field test for combat arms units that must be executable in any environment at any time and with combat equipment. These tests, they'll look familiar. They'll resemble the Army Expert Physical Fitness Assessment or the Marine Corps Combat Fitness Test. I'm also directing that warfighters in combat jobs execute their service fitness test. Military full of Nordic pagans.
What? Wait, what?
Area of policing. It's like when you let the small stuff go, the big stuff eventually goes. So you have to address the small stuff. This is on duty in the field and in the rear. If you want a beard, you can join Special Forces. If not, then shave. We don't have a military full of Nordic pagans. But unfortunately, we have had leaders who either refuse to call BS and enforce standards.
You literally do have a military full of Nordic pagans. Like, not even kidding. Like, a lot of those fucking military guys are Nordic pagans. They, like, praise Thor and shit. You see them with, like, the Mjolnir necklace all the time. You literally have a military full of Nordic pagans. That's not even hyperbole.
Or leaders who felt like they were not allowed to enforce standards. Both are unacceptable. And that's why today, at my direction, the era of unprofessional appearance is over. No more beardos. The era of rampant and ridiculous shaving profiles is done. Simply put, if you do not meet the male-level physical standards for combat positions, cannot pass a PT test, or don't want to shave and look professional, it's time for a new position or a new profession. I sincerely appreciate the proactive efforts the secretaries have already taken in some of those areas, service secretaries. And these directives are intended to simply accelerate those efforts. On the topic of standards, allow me a few words to talk about toxic leaders. Upholding and demanding high standards is not toxic. Enforcing high standards, not toxic leadership. Leading warfighters toward the goals of high, gender-neutral, and uncompromising standards in order to forge a cohesive, formidable, and lethal...
This feels like a fucking spoof. This feels like a fucking spoof, bro. I think I'm gonna redo the video that we just made using this, because, like, this might be the clip that goes viral. I'm gonna redo that video that we made real quick, okay? We're gonna make it a lot better. Watch this, watch this, watch this. All right, here we go. Alcoholic Fox News host and Secretary of War Pete Hegseth just gave the worst speech in American history after using billions of tax dollars to get every single commander of the United States military from all over the planet to fly all the way to Quantico, Virginia, and hear him tell them that they're all fat and they can't have beards. Not even fucking kidding. This stupid piece of shit, during his fucking speech, he said, "And to our enemies, I have one message for you. F-A-F-O. As in, fuck around, find out. You know, that could have been a bar if you had just said, fuck around, find out. But instead, like a 13-year-old prepubescent girl, you had to type it out like you were texting. This same motherfucker during his speech had to stop mid-sentence and take a sip of whiskey because he's a raging fucking alcoholic. Oh my God. Also, did a little bit of research. I know Pete Hegseth saw combat, but it is still controversial and debatable whether he was ever under fire. But he got all these medals for being like an infantryman. Meanwhile, like, rumor has it, he was never in a single fucking firefight. Meanwhile, he's on the goddamn stage telling our fucking generals about the warrior ethos, and we can't have any fat soldiers, and we don't want an army full of Nordic pagans. These are quotes. I'm gonna show you. And then, after this fucking dumbass Himmler wannabe finished his speech, the fat orange Fuhrer came out, and he had no energy, and he's talking like this. He has no energy. The guy is rotting away like a fucking banana left on the counter, and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. The world is watching, and they're going, oh shit, maybe the United States military is nowhere near as strong as we used to think it was. What the fuck is going on? Let's watch a little bit of it. This is like a 45-minute speech. I'm going to show you like a 6-minute segment of it, just so you can understand how fucking stupid it was. This could have been an email. This could have been a fucking email. Hi, welcome to the Valenti VOD. I'm your perfect and humble leader, Chris Valenti. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. Also, this is real independent media. I have no funding, so if you do want to help support the channel, there's a couple of ways you could do it. You could buy merch, like the Democratic Socialist poster behind me. You can hit the join button to become a member. You can donate to the channel by clicking the thanks button. You could use a 40% off discount code for Ground News in the description, and you can become a patron on Patreon. Thank you very much for 107,000 subscribers, or 108,000. I don't even know. You guys are flying, hitting that fucking button like it's made out of cheese. But without further ado, let's dive into the alcoholic Secretary of War Fox News host who got so drunk he was kicked out of a strip club for getting on the stage and spewing Islamophobic rhetoric. Let's give him a little watch skis.
Every requirement for every combat MOS, for every designated combat arms position, returns to the highest male standard only.
Highest male standard only. You hear that, GI woman? You hear that, woman, GI? You're getting kicked out of the military. You're getting kicked out of the military. First of all, this entire fucking meeting has been a loyalty pledge. He keeps on bringing up, like, we only want people in here who are willing to do what needs to be done. Essentially saying, hey, you know how, like, Trump is ordering you to invade Portland, Oregon and kill the protesters? That's not a joke, by the way. Donald Trump literally said he gave the military full authorization to use full force against the protesters. That's killing them. He gave the military... By the way, if you're in Portland, Oregon, I would be very careful protesting because the president of the United States just gave those Nazis permission to shoot you in the fucking brain. So please, be very careful if you're deciding to step out and challenge our Nazi leadership.
Because this job is life or death. Standards must be met. And not just met, at every level, we should seek to exceed the standard, to push the envelope, to compete. It's common sense. And core to who we are and what we do, it should be in our DNA. Today, at my direction, we are also adding a combat field test for combat arms units that must be executable in any environment, at any time, and with combat equipment. These tests, they'll look familiar. They'll resemble the Army Expert Physical Fitness Assessment, or the Marine Corps Combat Fitness Test. I'm also directing that warfighters in combat jobs execute their service fitness test at a gender-neutral, age-normed male standard scored above 70%.
Gender neutral? Wait a minute. I thought that you've been screaming your head off about how men are just, they're physiologically built better than women. Women are meant to have babies. Men are meant to fight wars. And now you're saying you're going to do a gender-neutral fitness test? This is literally just a ploy to get women kicked out of the military. That's literally... Like, you know when you're in fucking high school and they make you run the mile? I don't even know if they still do that, but when I was in high school, they made you run the mile. And for men, it was like you have to get it below 8 minutes, and for women, you have to get it below 10. That had nothing to do with like physiology, or sorry, it had everything to do with physiology, and it was the fact that, you know, men and women, they are designed differently. So you're acknowledging that, and yet you're setting the standard where men and women both have to be able to do the exact same things. You're trying to get women kicked out of the military. You are setting them up for failure.
It all starts with physical fitness and appearance. If the Secretary of War can do regular, hard PT, so can every member of our joint force.
Regular, hard PT? Brother, I've seen the videos of you doing pull-ups. They're pathetic. They're pathetic. I'm going to whip it up right now for you. Pete Hegseth doing pull-ups is the funniest shit you're gonna see all fucking week. God, my computer is slow. Pete Hegseth doing pull-ups. Dude, look at this motherfucker.
It was President Trump who inspired us to do that.
Go back, go back.
It was President Trump who inspired us
That's
to do that.
not a pull-up, you fat fuck.
It was President Trump who
Look at the... why do they all do it like that? Look at this guy, too.
Trump who inspired us to do that.
Who is teaching these people how to do fucking pull-ups?
It was President Trump who inspired...
First of all, those aren't even pull-ups, they're fucking chin-ups. You can't even do a fucking chin-up.
Frankly, it's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely...
Oh my God. You flew our generals from across the planet to tell them that? You flew our generals from across the planet to tell them that? You fucking alcoholic!
unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon and leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look. It is bad, and it's not who we are. So whether you're an airborne ranger or a chairborne ranger, a brand new private or a 4-star general, you need to meet the height and weight standards and pass your PT test. And as the chairman said, yes, there is no PT test. But today, at my direction, every member of the Joint Force at every rank is required to take a PT test twice a year, as well as meet height and weight requirements twice a year.
Does this stupid fuck think that our 4-star generals need to be physically fit in order to come up with a battle plan? Like, dude, let's be honest about something. A 4-star general with all those medals, and his job is to be like in the war room and coming up with plans. He can be fat. Who gives a shit? As long as he's smart. As long as he's capable of coming up with a good strategy.
Every year of service. Also today, at my direction, every warrior across our joint force is required to do PT every duty day. Should be common sense. I mean, most units do that already. But we're codifying it. And we're not talking like hot yoga and stretching. Real hard PT, either as a unit or as an individual. At every level, from the Joint Chiefs to everyone in this room to the youngest private, leaders set the standard. And so many of you do this already. Active, Guard, and Reserve. This also means grooming standards. No more beards, long hair.
By the way, the grooming standards, I know you hear that, you go, that's stupid. No, that's how you get black people out of the military. No beards, that is how you either subject black soldiers to constant pain, because I don't know if you know this, but black people's beards grow a lot differently and a lot faster than white people. And constantly shaving it, like, this is quite literally designed to kick black soldiers out of the military or cause them to live in constant pain. Yes, shaving bumps. This is a very common thing for black people.
Superficial individual expression. We're going to cut our hair, shave our beards, and adhere.
And also cut our hair. Bro, there are religious exemptions. We have Sikhs in the military. You know the Sikhs? They have the turban on their head that like cover their hair, and they grow out there. They never cut their hair in their entire lives. Some of the best people I know in like EMS workers or even soldiers, they're Sikhs. I swear to fucking God, if they get rid of religious exemption for like cutting the hair, they're just trying to create a white Christian nationalist military.
Standards. Because it's like the broken windows theory of policing. It's like when you let the small stuff go, the big stuff eventually goes. So you have to address the small stuff. This is on duty, in the field, and in the rear. If you want a beard, you can join Special Forces. If not, then shave. We don't have a military full of Nordic pagans. But unfortunately, we have had leaders who either refuse to call BS and enforce standards.
You literally do have a military that consists of Nordic pagans, bro. That is like, do you know how many fucking military members are like, yeah, bro, we're going to Valhalla. Fucking Kash Patel said it. I'll see you in Valhalla. You know how many of those motherfuckers wear that Mjolnir necklace? You literally have an army that consists of Nordic pagans, especially considering the fact that we have a rise of fascism, a rise of anti-Semitism, a rise of these Nazi fucks, and they're all Nordic pagans.
Or leaders who felt like they were not allowed to enforce standards. Both are unacceptable. And that's why today, at my direction, the era of unprofessional appearance is over. No more beardos.
Reminder, he flew our entire United States military command leadership here to tell them no fatties, no beardos. This is what your tax dollars are going to. This is what your tax dollars are going to.
The era of rampant and ridiculous shaving profiles is done. Simply put, if you do not meet the male-level physical standards for combat positions, cannot pass a PT test, or don't want to shave and look professional, it's time for a new position or a new profession. I sincerely appreciate the proactive efforts the secretaries have already taken in some of those areas, service secretaries. And these directives are intended to simply accelerate those efforts.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man, because I'll feel a whole lot safer if I get to know that the army doesn't have beards. That's going to change my entire outlook of the fascist takeover of the United States of America. You know, when the military starts walking down Broadway, I'm going to be like, thanks for shaving your beard, soldier. Yeah.
On the topic of standards, allow me a few words to talk about toxic leaders. Upholding and demanding high standards is not toxic. Enforcing high standards, not toxic leadership. Leading warfighters toward the goals of high, gender-neutral, and uncompromising standards in order to forge a cohesive, formidable, and lethal Department of War is not toxic. It is our duty, consistent with our constitutional oath.
What does this mean?
Real toxic leadership is endangering subordinates with low standards. Real toxic leadership is promoting people based on immutable characteristics or quotas.
Oh my God.
Instead of based on merit. Real toxic leadership is promoting destructive ideologies that are an anathema to the Constitution and the laws of nature and nature's God.
Like what? What are you talking about? Are you talking about leftist values? Are they just incompatible with God? Because after hearing Stephen Miller's speech, we are the builders of society. We are the ones who create. You are nothing. You have nothing. You've created nothing. Like, bro, what are we fucking doing right now?
As Thomas Jefferson wrote in the Declaration of Independence. The definition of toxic has been turned upside down, and we're correcting that. That's why today, at my direction, we're undertaking a full review of the department's definitions of so-called toxic leadership.
Oh my God.
Bullying and hazing, to empower leaders to enforce standards without fear of retribution or second guessing. Of course, you can't do like nasty bullying and hazing. We're talking about words like bullying and hazing and toxic. They've been weaponized.
Why are you talking about hazing? You fucking frat boy. Why are you talking about hazing? You're the fucking military, dude.
Bastardized inside our formations, undercutting commanders and NCOs. No more. Setting, achieving, and maintaining high standards is what you all do. And if that makes me toxic, then so be it. Second, today at our direction, we're ensuring that every service, every unit, every schoolhouse, and every form of professional military education conduct an immediate review of their standards. Now, we've done this in many places already, but today it goes across the entire Department of War. Any place where tried and true physical standards were altered, especially since 2015 when combat arms standards were changed to ensure females could qualify, must be returned to their original standard.
All right, so yeah, just no more women in the military, it seems like.
Other standards have been manipulated to hit racial quotas as well, which is just as unacceptable. This too must end.
Being active right now is weird. Thank you for the 1,000 yen. I think that's yen. Thank you very much. Yeah, listen, I pity anybody who's active duty right now. You guys didn't sign up to be part of a fucking Nazi fighting force, but you're being forced to be part of it. Unbelievable. Very uncomfortable. Very weird. This whole fucking meeting could have been a goddamn email. What a joke. So what do we get from this? We got no blacks, no women, no beards in the military. We got we're bringing back hazing. We're gonna start bullying people. He said, if I'm toxic, fuck you, so be it. No more fat people. We're gonna just wage war. No more defending the nation. We're just gonna fucking wage war. You better be loyal to the Fuhrer, you fucking piece of shit. Otherwise, who knows? Maybe I'll just say that you're fat. Therefore, you've been removed from being a 4-star general who spent 35 years in the military. Here's my piece of advice to anybody and everybody in the military. Get out now before you wish you did. Chris, it's not easy to get out of the military. I'll get a dishonorable discharge. Better than being tried in the fucking modern Nuremberg trials. You do know that, like, every single one of those Nazis at the Nuremberg trial said, hey, we signed an oath, we pledged an oath where we have to follow his orders. Okay. I don't give a fuck. You still violated international law, and you will still be tried as a war criminal. Bros. Military members. Get out. Get out. Thank you for the 5,000 yen. Fitness is the only positive out of this. Listen, I want my soldiers to be physically fit, but that's not what he said. He's talking about generals. Who gives a fuck if a general is 350 fucking pounds? The general doesn't fight in the front. He's not Alexander the Great. This isn't fucking Rome. And even the Roman generals didn't fight in the front. It's so stupid. Oh, it's so stupid. All right. Listen, if you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you're watching this live, thank you, stay. We're going to keep on going and make a thumbnail for this video. And do me one last favor. Click that video right over there. It's a banger, and I know bangers. Okay, let's get Pete, Hegseth, Quantico. This is a good one. Oh, it's fucking copyrighted. Fuck me. Pete, what about this one? Is this copyrighted? This one's not, which means I'm stealing it. Thanks for doing the work for me. That was indeed a better video. Yeah, I could tell. Sometimes you just know, you know? Poverty is the reason most people join. Correct, yes. Desperation. Trump RX? What is RX? What does that mean? Prescriptions? What? 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 Trump announces deal with Pfizer to lower drug prices, including Trump RX website. What?
So those things are also being discussed right now. I mean, can you imagine we're actually talking about open borders, and we now have a great border, and we have a great country. Our country was dead 1 year ago. Now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. Big difference. Yeah.
What does it say about the state of the Democrat Party when they have a 33%
Let's see. That's so fucking stupid. Dude, I hope every single MAGA voter signs up for Trump RX and then they end up getting some sort of incurable form of cancer. And they're like, Mr. President, help me. Mr. President, please.
Popular recently because he can trim the budget to a level that you couldn't do any other way. So they're taking a risk by having a shutdown because of the shutdown, we can do things medically and other ways including benefits. We can cut large numbers of people out. We don't want to do that, but we don't want fraud, waste, and abuse. And, you know, we're cutting that. But they want to have illegal aliens come into our country and get massive health care at the cost to everybody else, and we don't have it. And that's I would say, the...
Yeah, no, you're right. The med beds will cure the cancer, too. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. You're so fucking right, dudes. Ugh. Time to lose some frames and make a thumbnail. Thanks for the €2, Alex. Yeah, I thought we were all getting med beds, huh? Thought we were all getting med beds, huh? We talk about the new rules of engagement. I didn't hear them. I'll look them up in a second. New rules of engagement. Ugh. We untie the hands of our warfighters to intimidate, demoralize, hunt, and kill the enemies of our country.
Well, a highly unusual meeting of military.
Thanks, Alex. Appreciate that, man. Oh, that's a crazy picture. See what I'm saying, bro? These are the pictures that he wanted. These are the pictures. This is the videos that he wanted. Trump said, I told Pete we should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military National Guard. We're under invasion from within. All right, so yeah, Trump is just telling him to start fucking killing American people. So when Pete Hegseth says we want our war fighters to do one thing and one thing only, war, kill, and then Trump says use our cities as a training ground, A plus B, if A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. You're telling them to start killing American people. That's a banger. That's a banger. Thanks for the $5, Alex. Appreciate you. How was the Fuhrer speech? The Fuhrer gave a terrible speech. He's like rotting away, bro. He doesn't have any energy. I mean, all the speeches that were given were fucking dog shit, but the Fuhrer's was particularly bad. See the new ceasefire deal with Gaza? It's not a ceasefire deal. It's a surrender agreement for the Palestinians to just be finally and permanently exterminated, and for the United States of America to colonize the West Bank. No more fatties. That's what that says. Let's get the swastika on his chest because he's a fucking Nazi role-playing as an American. Let's cover up your American flag pin with the swastika, which is what you would wear. There we go. Now you look more professional. There you go. There you go. Fucking Nazi. All right. So no more fatties will be one of them. You think there will be a second American Civil War? Yes, but it will not be the way that you think. It's not going to be the civilians versus the military. There's going to be a divide through the military, and it's going to cause a civil war within the military itself. Pledge your loyalty. Why do you keep the thick white outline on your thumbnails? I put that on there. I like it. I don't know. I like it. Watching this in history class? Nice. Nice, bro. You should ask your history teacher if you guys can watch Leni Riefenstahl's Triumph of the Will in order to point out the similarities between the Trump regime and the Nazi Party. All right. I'm going to have to go after the thumbnail, guys. I got to get ready to go to the gym. The entire administration is neo-fascists. Correct. 100% correct. How am I supposed to make this long drive without your booming, commanding voice? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Well, I'm gonna take this one. I'm so appreciative of strong fighters like Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. Shut the fuck up, dude. Shut the fuck up. Okay. This title is going to be Alcoholic Fox News Host Tells Our Military that he's kicking out all the blacks, women, and gays. Alcoholic Fox News host tells our military that he's kicking out all of the blacks, women, and gays. I don't have enough room to say and pagans. Alcoholic Fox News host. How about this? Let me change it. Alcoholic Fox News host Pete Hegseth says he's kicking out all the blacks, women, and gays from the military. All the black, women, and gay soldiers. There we go. Alcoholic Fox News host Pete Hegseth says he's kicking out all of the blacks, women, and gay soldiers. There we go. Welcome to the FSA, the Fascist States of America. Nope, there is no AI-generated content. That's nowhere near what Hegseth said. No, that's exactly what he said. We watched it. He said he's setting a new requirement so that women get kicked out. He said he's setting a new shaving requirement so that black people get kicked out. And he said he's waging a war on woke DEI policies. He's getting rid of blacks, gays, and women's. Facts don't care about your fucking feelings. Literally what he said. See, the difference is we can read between the lines. You can't. Let's see how this starts. Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth. Yeah, that's good. Publish. We got a MAGA in the chat. It's fine, bro. Wherever there are birds, there is a worm. They're always somewhere. Oh. Maggots outside of their bubble? Not for long. Can I quote that? Yeah, go ahead. You see my question, dog? I don't know. Let me scroll up. Just ask it again, bro. I kind of lost it. There's a lot of comments. Dehumanizing your opponents, kind of fascist there, war boy. Yeah, no, I'm up against Nazis, so yeah, I don't consider them to be humans. Do you think Nazis deserve the same rights as you? Genuine question. Do you think Nazis deserve the same rights as you? He said, do you see any similarities between what happened with Horst Wessel in 1930 and what happened with Charlie Kirk? Horst Wessel was a, hold on. Oh, was he a member of the SA that got assassinated? Yeah, he was murdered. Okay. I mean, it's kind of similar. It's kind of similar. Germany just spoke out about against Israel. They've been doing that. What's your new TikTok? ValentiVideos.alt.alt. Where did you find that list of people that would be considered domestic terrorists? Whitehouse.gov. It was a recent presidential memorandum changing the NSDP status of, what is it? Nihilistic violent extremists. They labeled anybody who's anti-American, anti-capitalist, transgender, any of that shit. NSPM7, yeah. How do you feel having the same name as a MAGA Christian? There's many people who have the name Chris, bro. Is God real, Chris? I don't know, and nobody on earth does. Anybody who pretends like they do know if God is real is lying to either you themselves, or both of you. Ugh. Thoughts on AOC? She's good. She needs more work. You helped me realize how dumb I was for supporting MAGA among other people. I'm glad to hear that you're back on the right side of history, bro. Glad to hear it. Welcome home. America will welcome you with open arms. The same people who are Nazi sympathizer are also pro-Jew. How convenient. What the fuck does pro-Jew mean? Do you mean they support Jewish people's right to exist? What the fuck does that even mean? You pro-Jew and anti-Jew? What the fuck does that even mean? Go, Jew, go! What does that even fucking mean? What the fuck does that mean? Are you fucking stupid? Angry liberal caught a triggering. You think I'm a liberal? Holy fuck, you are not well read. You think that people like us are liberals? Hey, chat. Any of you liberals? Any of you liberals? Watch this. Dumb fuck. I don't even think you know where you are, bro. I don't even think you know where you are, dog. I don't even think you know where you are, homie. Anyway, I'm gonna get ready to go. Oh, you know what? Before I go, I gotta make a TikTok. Hold on. So Pete Hegseth just finished his oh wait, hold on. So alcoholic Fox News host and Secretary of War Pete Hegseth just finished his I guess you could call it a Nazi rally where he told our generals that they're all fat and stupid. He literally said, no more fatties, you all have to shave your fucking beards, no more women in the military, we're making sure there's no black people. I had a whole YouTube video covering this in detail. You should go check it out. By the way, if you're in the military and you're a woman, or if you're black, or if you know, like have some sort of religious belief regarding your hair, like you're Sikh, you're about to get kicked out of the United States military. Loyalty oath. Just dropped. New loyalty oath just dropped. Excuse me. So you're not liberals? I'm a socialist. I can't speak for everybody in the chat, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of socialists in the chat. Granted, you don't know what socialism is, so you're about to accuse me of being a communist because of how uneducated you are. That's not anyone's fault other than the United States education system. Bernie fan? Yeah. They think commie and socialists are the same? I know. It's almost done posting. Waiting to hear it. Waiting to get confirmation. There we go. It's posted. What do you say? A socialist. Great economic foundation there. I'm sure that model has worked anywhere in history. Yeah, every single nation who has ever tried to practice socialism had the Western world, primarily the United States of America, send the CIA to participate in coups d'etats and regime change. If you can name one single socialist country that failed that did not have American involvement in that failure, I will Venmo you $1,000. Because the only socialist countries that you can name that did not have Western involvement are successful ones, like Scandinavian nations, you dumb fuck. You stupid fuck. Scandy's got it real good. Exactly. No Western involvement. No CIA military coup d'etat attempts. The Scandinavian country's the size of Jersey. Did you just deport the goalpost? It's not a Latino. You can't just deport the goalpost, dumb fuck. Plant your heels and fight the fight. What that country the small? Shut the fuck up, you uneducated, inbred rat vermin bitch. Fucking argue your point. Don't deport the goalpost, bitch. Argue your fucking point, cocksucker. Jesus Christ. Make a point. Argue your point. Don't fucking move to a different one, fucknut. Come on, be a man. Be a man. They can't defend a point that doesn't exist. I know. They have to move the goalpost because if there is no moving of the goalposts, they get cornered with their dog shit ideology that is foundationally built upon lies. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. Anyway, I gotta go. I'm gone, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing. Angry little war boy. Bro, I've never been in the military. I don't know what war boy means. It's a weird thing. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing and it helps me immensely. And if you do want to help support this channel financially, because this is real independent media, I've never had a conversation with an advertiser, a billionaire, or a government. A couple of ways you could do it. Donate to the channel, become a member, become a patron, buy merch, and use a 40% off discount code for Ground News located in the description below. Other than that, have a good one. Una mattina mi sono alzato. Bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invasor. Oh partigiano, portami via. Bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morir. Always remember, you are up against Nazis, and Nazis do not deserve oxygen. Have a good one, and never debate with somebody John Brown would have shot. Bye!